Today we bring you an inspiring story that highlights the incredible work of one local community advocate who has dedicated her life to making a difference. Her unwavering commitment to helping those in need has garnered national recognition. Here's our story. Tampa Bay's Julie Weintraub, successful entrepreneur, community leader, and fierce victim rights advocate. She, with her husband, Steve Weintraub, started Hands Across the Bay charity in 2009, and it quickly became one of Tampa Bay's most notable and respected charitable organization, helping countless families in need. Her positive impact over the years caught the attention of the Crime Survivors and Justice Caucus in Washington, D.C., a national organization focusing on the country's best leaders in victim advocacy. Nominated by Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, and in a ceremony held on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., Julie was honored with the highly acclaimed Ed Stout Memorial Award for Outstanding Victim Advocacy. Steve and Julie made the trip to D.C. to accept the award and to experience a VIP tour from Congresswoman Laura Lee, who escorted them through the beautiful Capitol, the White House, and included a visit to the House floor. As the owners of the Golden Diamond Source, they have created a formidable force with a small team to work with law enforcement agencies to empower survivors and inspire change through their Hands Across the Bay charity. Julie says more needs to be done. Women can't merely exist at the mercy of the men around them.
It's an incredible honor to get that award. It's definitely not a motivating factor. You know, doing this work, you spend a lot of your time, your life, and your sanity, and no one would possibly do that for an award. I think it is incredibly meaningful to have the recognition of how important this work in it is, and it really hits home to me that, you know, this is something really needed and very unique that is being done by our team here at Hands Across the Bay.
Over the years, Julie and the Hands Across the Bay team has rallied the Tampa Bay community to come together and make a life-changing difference to so many. Two of the many special supporters are former state's attorney Mark Ober and retired Secret Service agent Greg Mertz.
I can't think of anybody that is more deserving of this award than Julie Weintraub. And I go back with her over a decade, and I've seen her from the bottom of her heart do selfless work for so many people. I can't really imagine a human being that is more benevolent and just so kind to everybody. And remember, these individuals that she's dealing with are at rock bottom. They've been injured physically, mentally scarred, and she has lifted them up. So I congratulate her on this award. I'm proud to call her my friend.
It's just unbelievable how she could take Hands Across the Bay and turn it into a local help group, and that word spread throughout the nation to make her just an incredible advocate for those who are downtrodden, who are victims of society, or their husbands or wives, or they've been shot or stabbed, and she lifts their heart, it lifts their soul, medically, physically. She does all of that for so many victims.
That's a huge part of my success and why I wanted to make sure I shared this award with so many other people who have helped me get here, and especially Mark Ober as well, because I don't have a law degree, and I have to go through crime scene photos constantly and legal documents, files this thick, and try and go through and try and see where the laws apply, or you know what I can do to help advocate for these victims the best that I can. And the one person I thought of that I lean on so much and so many times, who spent hours on the phone, and I'm like, well, this happened and this happened. What do I do? Why did this happen? How can I push for this? Is Mark Ober. And I can't take all the credit when I've had so many amazing friends to help me achieve what I needed to achieve for the victims that I was helping.
And of course, Julie shares in this special recognition with her small Hands Across the Bay team.
I am personally just so proud of Julie and just so grateful for her as my own advocate. I myself am a victim of crime, and I am so grateful that I survived and that God put Julie in my life to help me. She didn't have to do what she did to help me. She, as a volunteer, took me under her wing over 11 years ago after I was victim of attempted murder, domestic violence. So it was a very severe case. I was just a teenager. There's so much steps after surviving something. It's not just like, you know, you're gonna give someone one or two things and they're on their way. So Julie has really helped me so much through all of the years of my recovery and just the different seasons and transitions. And so it's just so amazing to see her really get the recognition I think she deserves and that she earned. And on a national platform, I mean, is such a blessing.
I wasn't surprised because of her heart. You know, everything she does for the women and the men that we help here and the families that we help here at Hands Across the Bay, it just shows her heart, it shows her pure motives to just really be there for the people in our community that have no one to help them and are in situations no fault to their own.
It is so exciting to receive this type of award. I mean, nationally, that is incredible just for our little work here in Tampa Bay. So I am just over the moon, excited for Hands Across the Bay for receiving this award, and Julie, of course, being the amazing advocate that she is.
We have a smaller team here, but we're doing really great things. Melissa is really heading everything up. She's doing an amazing job. We have Suzanne who's helping out as well. And Chelsea's like my right-hand person. I don't know what I'd do without her. She helps here at Hands Across the Bay. She helps at Golden Dinosaur. She helps keep track of where I'm supposed to be and what I'm doing. She's an amazing help to our organization. And Emily jumps in to do TV appearances, if it's for Golden Dinosaurs or Hands Across the Bay, speaking engagements. So we have a great support network, and somehow, even with our small team, we seem to pull it all off.
All right, so you might ask, what makes Julie Weintraub so special?
It's just the work she does is so incredible. And I mean, locally, nationally, she's got the attention. But she, you know, one of the things, she doesn't want the attention. She does this from her heart, not for the recognition.
She has tremendous heart to do so much for so many. And at times, quite frankly, I was worried about Julie because she's selfless and she went from one event to another. And she just has that deep, deep passion and kind heart for people, especially people that have, their lives could go the other way. Some of these people have nothing and they have nowhere to go. She has lifted them up.
Julie does not take like no as the answer. It's like, for instance, in Sabrina Henley's case, when she was charged falsely, we knew this was domestic violence and that it was self-defense, and no matter what roadblocks, Julie just kept pushing, and because she knew the truth and knew that this is domestic violence, and it was self-defense. So just watching that has been so inspiring, because there's, you know, you just can never give up.
One thing that I learned from my mom is just kindness, to always be willing to give and to know that God has you and just to lift up to Him. That's one of the biggest blessings I got from my mom, just because her heart is so amazing, and just seeing her ability to just go above and beyond no matter what, even when it doesn't make sense. She just sees someone in need and she goes and helps them. It's really beautiful. I remember one of my favorite memories is when we were driving and my mom just saw someone carrying a bunch of groceries down the street. And Steve was in a store and my mom just like picked him up in the car. This random guy, my mom was like, never do this. But she picked him up and Steve was there, and so Steve came in the car and there's a random man in the car with a bunch of groceries. And my mom was like, he had to walk all the way from the grocery store to get to his house. So we like drove him there, and it was just so funny, but her heart's just so pure for things like that. She just always wants to go above and beyond. If she sees anything, she's always willing to stop, and that's what I learned.
Julie Weintraub's Hands Across the Bay charity has had life-changing impact to so many here in the Tampa Bay area. From victim survivors to families in need, to her Hands Across the Bay team, to the community of kindness warriors that support her. These heartfelt emotions expressed by Melissa says it all.
My heart is overfull with Hands Across the Bay. I just see that I can make direct impact because of my work. I'm gonna like start crying. It's just that, you know, there's a lot of struggle out there, and there's a lot of people who are struggling, and you see directly something I can do can directly impact their life. And it's not me personally, it's me as a Hands Across the Bay employee and kindness warrior here. I am so blessed to be a messenger of blessings. I get to share good news, and I get to share great news. I get to share funds that families really need, and it has just truly changed my life for the better. I'm very blessed.
For Julie Weintraub, it's her selfless determination to create a lasting impact by speaking up for what's right.
I hope that people remember that this time that I spent away from my family, and that the toll that it's taken on me psychologically, that it wasn't for nothing. That people really understand that one of the most dangerous things to be born as a woman. And that if some of the things can happen that I have seen happen all around me, that it's very unsafe to be a woman. And you know what, and if you just think you don't care, you should care, because you all have sisters and daughters and wives. Like, you don't want them to be at risk constantly. And I hope that people remember this work, how important it is. I hope they speak up and fight for justice. I hope they show up in courtrooms on cases where they say injustice. Just go in there and show up. If you have any power or influence in your community, get up and speak up and help out people who don't have a voice. I certainly hope that that happens. And you know, I hope one day that people like me are not needed. That is my definite goal, is that justice is served, and that we really get a hold of the epidemic of violence against women in the United States of America.
We hope that Julie's story serves as a reminder that each one of us has the power to make a difference, no matter how big or small. It's through acts of kindness and advocacy that we can create a safer, more inclusive community for everyone. From all of us here at Good Life Tampa Bay, I'm H. John Mejia, and thanks for watching.